how do you see this battle shaking out, David Icke?
Well, if we don't become conscious and get out of control by computer programs, then it's going to go on, because the computer programs are going to keep following the program. This is why it's so important that no matter what our religious or non-religious or belief or anything, that we put that aside and look at the things that unite us instead of those that divide us. And like I said a few minutes ago, Alex, we have all these religions who argue and cuss and fight, but when you get to the core of them, the real core of them, they're not a million miles from what I'm talking about here. If you get it down to the, people can argue about the detail, and I don't see why we should argue about the detail. I mean, believe what you like, so long as you don't force it on anyone else. But, the basics of we are something beyond the body, and when the body dies, that something leaves, which I call awareness, other people call the soul. If we can start to get down to these levels where we all basically agree, then we can start working together without letting the fault lines of detail and religious dogma divide us. And we need to move our point of observation from the body. Instead of looking in the mirror and saying, that is me, it's looking in the mirror and saying, that is the vehicle that the real me, consciousness, is using to experience this reality. See, we have names so we can tell each other apart in the world that we live in, but you can have a name without actually being completely controlled by the fact that that's who you are. See, I don't consider myself to be David Icke. That's the name of an experience I'm having now at this time. I am consciousness having that experience. And when you come from that point of view, you don't get pulled into little me. In other words, you don't get pulled into computer level of perception.
That's it. I got to stop you. Exactly. Whenever I'm calm, focused, I can think 1,000 times faster. Everything makes complete sense. By the very nature of getting on the air, having the lights on, having the stress of having to perform, I shift in to the fight or flight, into the reptilian brain, and then lose so much of my consciousness just even when I get on air, instead of like at 10 or 11, 12 at night when everything is so clear. And it's just amazing. But what you just talked about, whenever I get above it all, then I don't hate my enemies that are attacking me and lying about me. I actually feel sorry for them and wish that they weren't, at such a primitive level. But then I also realize we can't do like some people in the East that get so into higher awareness that they stop caring even if their body's dying or they're sitting there homeless under a tree. We have to have balance between the two levels, because if people lose the will to even survive at this plane of existence, then that I see also as a great danger. Here's an example. You spray cockroaches with poison. Any exterminator will tell you this. As soon as they get hit by poison, they start having sex, trying to fertilize their eggs. And it's just like after 9/11, there was a huge baby boom. That was, the establishment did a threat to the species grand event. Oh, our tribe just got devastated. People immediately, myself included, went and got married, started having children, not even knowing why. It was a compulsion of the species, which are all interconnected and tied together. We're all individuals, but we're also part of a hive species, almost like a jellyfish colony. And so, I mean, David, I'm throwing out a lot of ideas here. The point I'm trying to make is that we can also, and I haven't done this consciously, but now that I'm more conscious, I can realize I did. I've been successful with people, waking them up to the first level, because I did at a reptilian primitive level explain, you have been enslaved. There is more outside this system than you know. But then now more and more I realize that when you do open up the entire universe and the majesty of the clouds and the stars and life, and that your soul is looking out these windows, and when I look at another person, I'm looking at another soul and their entire genetic line and all those levels, almost like a symbiotic organism is what I'm beginning to realize we are, more than, I mean, it's so incredible to open up to the entire universe. And I agree with you. When you open up to that, then you realize how ridiculous the New World Order is. But still, they are physically at this level hurting people, and it's a test for the higher level to come down into the lower level and deal with this, because almost when you get tied into the higher level, you don't even want to be part of the world anymore. But it's almost like God sending Christ down to the earth to experience this in the flesh. So do you understand what I'm saying, David?
Well, you know, I don't think we come into this world to then ignore the fact we've done so. This is why we need the balance. You've got people like in what's called the New Age movement, and much of that was brilliantly described in a book I read a long time ago as people who were in a holding pattern above the airport refusing to land. And there's a lot of people that are in denial of what they need to do to make a difference, because they are using the thing of, oh, it's all higher consciousness and all the rest of it. And for me, what we need to do is bring that higher awareness into the body computer, because, you know, they can manipulate and program the body computer through the media, through education, through electrochemical means, and they do all the time. That's the bottom line.
So we have to occupy the reptilian brain with the higher consciousness, or they're always going to use it as a breach.
The point I'm making here, Alex, is we can program the computer from consciousness. If consciousness is allowed in, and what does that mean? It means opening the mind. A key thing I would say is that from the words that terms I'm using anyway, the mind and consciousness are not the same thing. The mind is like an interface. You see, I'm sitting here now in an office, and if I want to go on the internet, I can't just go on the internet. I've got to go on the internet through a computer. That's my interface. That allows me to experience the collective reality we call the World Wide Web. However, when I'm a consciousness, soul, whatever you want to talk about it, and I want to experience and make a contribution to this reality, I need an interface, and that interface is mind. And the mind is fundamentally part of the body-computer system, body-mind. They are different facets of each other. And what the Illuminati are about is programming the mind. And you talked earlier about the way that people are using fewer and fewer words and are speaking slower and all the rest of it. This is all part of programming people's not just ability to express themselves in words, but their ability to express even their thoughts. See, on the level of consciousness, we become aware through something called knowing. Don't think it, know it. Consciousness knows because it is the one consciousness, the all that is. The mind, the body-mind computer system, that thinks. That's the blooming chatter that goes on in your head 24/7 and never shuts up and says stupid things, and you think, why am I thinking that? Well, you're not actually thinking it. The body computer is, and that is, it thinks in words. Think now. Anybody listen to this show, and you're thinking in words. The more you remove words, generation after generation, detailed words that can express a real detailed thought, you're removing the ability even to think in detail.
Because these are symbols used in the brain to construct that mental image. We'll be right back with David Icke. Pretty powerful stuff. Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange Home Gain Gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com, HomeGain.com. Check them out today. It's always amazing having David Icke on. During the break, we were having an amazing behind-the-scenes discussion. Perhaps we can relay that. Coming up the next hour, we'll open the phones up specifically for David Icke. I want to respect our guest, so if you're calling about something else, please call another day. 1-800 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. I hope folks will go to Infowars.com and support the broadcast by purchasing books and videos from the online store so that we can continue the fight to unlock minds and get people to think for themselves. All I want to do is take blinders off people. I don't claim they're going to see what I see. I don't claim I have all the answers. I just know this. Consciousness, this universe, is unbelievable. I mean, I just literally commune with it. It is so, every moment is exhilarating, and it's torture to be here and to have to focus on the New World Order and deal with it. But at the same time, we are never going to defeat these people. As David said during the break to me, he said, Alex, we've got to go into this world. We've got to be of this world, in the world, but not of it. And we've got to be able to be in this world, be able to get people by the hand and pull them out of it. And does that mean we're perfect? No. We're just aware there's something else. And as I said, knowing is half the battle. But don't forget the online video bookstore at Infowars.com. If you want to get the Obama Deception, if you want to get Truth Rising or any of the books and films we carry, Infowars.com or 888-253-3139. Be sure and peruse that while you're at it.